for the missus to come out. So I just wanted to take this time to say what's up to everybody. If you're watching live, then thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Um, this is gonna be a simple time to just talk a little bit about what I'm gonna go do in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, or anything really, and really give you an update on this afternoon and what we were doing this afternoon. So a few weeks ago, Josh, who you know from the streams, he came over and we were talking about our comics, and he was like, "Dude, you gotta organize your books. You gotta organize your books." So I was like, "Okay, so you gonna help?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll help. I'll help. I'll help." So I went ahead and I set up some time today to do it. So what we ended up doing is I ended up telling him, "Hey, look, the books. There's so many books, so there's got to be a way for us to kind of take this time, and we need just, it's going to be more than a two-person job. There's that many books." So he's like, "Okay, let's see what I could do." So he actually did gather a couple of guys, and I was able to bring Jake as well, my best friend, and we started just doing it. We went this morning. We started at around 11 o'clock. I picked all the guys up, came over to my place, and then we just started going into the books. And by the time 5 o'clock hit, some of the guys, all the guys had to go. Sean also showed up. You might have seen him in the show. He's done a few shows with us, and we didn't even get halfway through. Not even halfway through did we get there. Uh, and we didn't even fully organize. We just put them into the stacks, really. Um, but what was really cool is the amount of books we were able to find, and the books that are in the collection that were just awesome to see. Like, I knew I had New Mutants 98. What I didn't know I had was Spider-Man Noir #1. When I saw that, I was like, "Whoa! I got Spider-Man Noir!" And I other books I had, Incredible Hulk 340. That's the one where Wolverine the Claws. So there was that book as well, and it was just fun, guys. Um, it was fun to do that. We're gonna continue working on it. I'll try to see if we'll post some more stuff there. But what I really want to do is I want to just be able to chat with you guys. If you guys are on and you want to chat with me, go ahead and chat in the stream. It'll be really fun. This is one of those things that I want to do from time and time again. Just do a live, just hang out. Um, talk about comics, talk about wrestling. So whatever you want to talk about, that's what I'm willing to do today. Because it's the fun stuff to do. This is the kind of stuff that we creators like talking. We like talking to people. We like sharing what's going on and things like that. I want to take this time right now while we're live to just take this moment to talk about all the cool things while I'm having a little drink. What's up, Anthony? How you doing, my man? Um, Anthony, it's Q&A time, man. So if you want to say something, go ahead and say something. Why did I start the Izzyverse channel? So the Izzyverse channel it's been around for about a year now. A year ago, I came up with the idea of, hey, you know what? I really want to get involved in the comic community the way I used to be involved in the comic book community. And there, I was, I really wasn't involved in comics like I used to. But what I decided to do was like, what, if I could do this YouTube channel, if I could do this thing, I could talk about all these comics. I could talk about stuff I love in comics. I could talk about wrestling and everything I love about wrestling. And I started talking to my wife about it. She was like, "Yeah, go ahead, do it. You're good enough. You know how to talk. You know how to talk. You know how to share. You have a good level of knowledge of the business since you've been being part of it and for 30 years, for over 30 years now." I started collecting comic books back in 1987. Would you believe that? 1987. Some people weren't even born at that time. And my first comic book was a Marvel Tales, a book I still happen to own even to this day. I always forget the number for some reason, but it was the first comic book I ever bought. I ever went to a newsstand to get. And what was cool about it was the Spider-Man book. It was Spider-Man and Thor, and they were facing the living Monolith. The book in itself was forgettable. It wasn't a story that people talked about. It was actually a reprint of a Marvel team up book that came out a few years earlier. What was cool about it was that it was written by Chris Claremont and it was drawn by John Byrne. And those are two names synonymous in the business. Chris Claremont is known for his huge run on X-Men. Everybody, if you know X-Men and you love the X-Men in the 80s and up to into the 90s, it was all Chris Claremont. Excuse me. And John Byrne, equally the same. What's up, Nate? How you doing, my man? Epic car. Yep, that's right. We're on the Izzy Mobile. So, with that being said, I started reading it. I started liking it, and then my next book was Incredible Hulk 340. Would you believe that one? That was my book number 2, Incredible Hulk 340. 340 was a Tom McFarlane book. Peter David writing it. I forgot who did the inking. I want to say Bob Wydick did the inking on the book. And I was sold. I was like, oh, what a book. Wolverine, that time he had the brown and orange suit. You worked on the Hulk. Yeah, I know. It was such a cool experience. And this is when Tom McFarlane was starting to get like really known, like his style was starting to be a thing. So I just got hooked. Then the next book was an X Factor issue 24, which is the Fall of the Mutants, which is our first reintroduction to Archangel, who was known previously as Angel. And that one was crazy. You got Apocalypse. This is when Apocalypse really became a threat. And so that was the cool thing about that book. I loved it. It was Walter Simonson, Louise Simonson, and they were doing such a great job in this book. I was, again, another book that just drove me crazy. And then from there, I just kept on buying books. I just kept on collecting books as a kid. At that time, I was about 11, 12. Good stuff, a lot of fun stuff. And I just enjoyed it, man. I just kept on doing it. And at the same time, I started developing a talent for drawing too. So I wasn't born an artist, like a lot of people were. Like, I can't tell you when I started really drawing, but it really was about when I was in my middle school is when I really got involved into drawing comics, and more importantly, drawing superheroes and stuff like that. So I would just doodle at first, but then it was a teacher that said, "Hey, you have a talent here." So I said, "Sure, whatever." So she asked me drawing in the what was it? A school digest or school book or something like that. And I started drawing characters. And I did a few characters here and there. It was fun. It was fun. It was good stuff. So did that, and then I just got more into comics. I got into X-Force. I got into X-Men. I got into Spider-Man, of course, and then I got into the Infinity Gauntlet saga, and that's where I really got into Adam Warlock, right? And Anthony, to your question here, let's see. I'm trying to see it now. I can't see it. Where are you? There we go. There we go. Which comic artist inspire you to draw? Well, the artist that really got me crazy was Arthur Adams, dude. Something about his style, and really it was more about the cards. If you remember the cards, the Marvel trading cards, when I saw his artwork in trading cards, it was it was an energy that was just really cool, very different from the other guys. But I was a huge fan already of McFarlane. I at that time I liked Liefeld because everyone liked Liefeld at that time. You'd be lying if you didn't like Liefeld during that time, because he sold. Jim Lee, of course. I got Punisher War Journals issue 6 and 7. That's where Punisher was facing Wolverine, and it was actually the first meetup between the two. They didn't meet prior to that. So I got that, and Jim Lee books are another great book. But Arthur Adams' style was beautiful. It was amazing to look at, and it was amazing to just see his work. It was something different because what a lot of people didn't know about Arthur Adams is that he had a manga style, an American manga style. So he did Western comics, but it was influenced by Japanese manga. It was influenced by Japanese anime. And at that time, that didn't happen. Today, there are dime a dozen. There's so many people that do it today. But at that time, it didn't happen. So that's kind of what did it. His cross hatching was beautiful. It was just, it was so beautiful. And, you know, it's hard to say, but it just felt right. Do you know what I mean? He didn't need colors. He didn't need fancy stuff to make his art style work. It just worked, you know? So that was one artist. But going back to what I was saying about Infinity Gauntlet. What's up, Cole? How you doing? Infinity Gauntlet was the event for me. It was something, it was at that time, the book was actually kind of costly. A lot of people didn't know it was a costly book for its time. But, and it was 48 pages, and you got to see Thanos do his thing. And yeah, comics don't need color. You're right. You got to see Thanos do his thing, and it's George Perez and Jim Starlin, man. Those two together. Yeah, I wish George Perez would have finished it. Hey, what's up, Kenneth? How you doing, my man? I really wish George Perez would have finished that book, because what he was doing in those first pages were gorgeous. That first scene where you just see, you know, Thanos, and it's this whole big sign that just said God, and it was proof that he was a badass. You know what I'm saying? So I read it and I really got into Adam Warlock. I think Adam Warlock was so cool, especially the type of version of Adam Warlock we were getting. He wasn't like the version from the 70s where he was kind of had like this Messiah complex thing. Adam Warlock in Infinity Gauntlet was just a guy who had to do what was right, but he didn't always understand why it was right. So in his thing, it was just a matter of just being a being to correct what's wrong without really truly getting it. And that's what was interesting about that character, and you know, him being involved in the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. It saddens me that we didn't get to see it in the movie version, because I would have loved to have seen it. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what to expect from Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do Counter Earth, because you got High Evolutionary, you got Adam Warlock. It looks like Counter Earth to me, so we'll see what's going on there. Excuse me. Gotta get the Popeyes. But that was all great. That was fantastic. I got those books. I fell in love with them. Then came Infinity War. Infinity War was okay. It wasn't the greatest thing, but it was still fun. Rod Lim's artwork was also pretty good. It was no George Perez, but you know what? He was a pretty good artist at that time. But during that time, look at this man shamelessly promoting his sponsor. What sponsors? What are you talking about, Nate? Uh, yeah, these guys are, you know, I just love these books, man. I really do love them. Never stop loving it. And those characters were always fun to me. I always been a Spider-Man fan. I love Spider-Man. I love him and Mary Jane. So I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say, Joe Kelly. Mary Jane and Spider-Man were meant to be together. Okay? End of story. Yeah, same thing to you, Joe Quinzada, J. Michael Straczynski. One more day was terrible. Don't tell Ralph. Oh, I'll tell Ralph wherever he's at. But so we started doing that stuff. I started reading those comics. I started really getting into it. I started going to Fordham Comics. Fordham Comics is where I first originally bought my comic books. I'm happy to say Fordham Comics is still there, and I was just there just a couple of days ago. I still like I like going to Fordham Comics. It's not the greatest store. It's not. The owner is not trying to make it the best LCS. It is just an LCS. But you could get a lot of good books there. So go check it out if you ever get a chance to be in. You're right off of Fordham University. It's on Fordham It's on Fordham and Webster Avenue in the Bronx if you're ever in that area. So go check out Fordham Comics. Tell him Izzy sent you, of course. He's not going to give you a discount, but but at least tell him that you was brought. Someone told you to come here. Um, let's go ahead and take some time because I'll talk some more stuff. I could talk a little bit about my love for wrestling, but before I even do that, I just wanted to share with you guys. If you don't know, I have started my membership program where there's 3 tiers in YouTube. It's a YouTube membership program. It's a 3-tier system where you could support the Izzyverse, but at the same time, you are able to get something in return as a result. So the first tier is what I'm going to call the Izzyverse street level tier. The street level tier is you pay 99 cents a month, and for that 99 cents, you'll get some emojis, you'll get some badges to go with it, and you'll get some exclusive videos. And really, it's just just to support the channel. That's all it's for. That's his number one purpose. If you want to support my stuff, my content, then I would say use that one. All right. The next tier up is what I call the global level tier. The global level tier is the next tier up, and this one has perks. The perks between the global level tier means that you have everything that you have on the street level tier, but included, you're going to be part of a special Discord channel where you'll be able to utilize the Discord channel and be able to chat about comics, wrestling, or whatever you want to talk. Star Wars, you want to talk about Star Wars, you could do that. And be part of a group, and at the same time be part of special videos where we could chat, where you could join the group, and while you're in the group, I will give the link to StreamYard so that you could come in and we could actually have a YouTube channel video. So that's going to be great. You'll also have exclusivity to videos that I'll be producing before everyone else gets to see it. And the 2 best things about the level are you get the Izzy Street swag. That's what I'm going to call it. It's a little swag thank you prize that you're going to get when you subscribe to it and you're part of the membership program. So just for $1.99, you get that. The second part, which is I think what a lot of people like, is you're going to be part of the mystery box tier 1. I'll talk about tier 2 in a minute. But tier 1 gives you the ability to be part of the giveaway, the monthly giveaway. I know that you guys like the weekly giveaway. It becomes a little daunting on me to do the weekly giveaway. I'll try to do it every so often for you guys because I know people like it. But I also want to be able to give to more people. So I don't want to be giving it to the same people. Now, as the channel grows, the more we grow, the better. And I'm hoping that we could do that. Help the channel grow to the best that we can. And I need your help to make this channel grow. Right now, we're sitting at about 16K. Not 16K. I wish I was at 16K. We're about 1,600. I really, really want to get to 2,000 by the summertime. So I need your help to get me there. So share the channel with others. Help me build the channel. But for $1.99, you get that, and you get part of the mystery box. The mystery box will have some stuff in it. Some of it will be comic books. Some of it might be some other stuff, but it'll be well worth it. So that gets you into that giveaway if you are part of the global level. Now, the biggest level is the cosmic level. Cosmic level is for $4.99, and with that, you're going to get all the perks from Street, all the perks from Global, but you're going to get additional perks like you're going to get member shoutouts. So those of you who have YouTube channels, I will personally be doing member shoutouts to you, in which I will showcase your show. There's a huge benefit for us working together. I'll still give shoutouts to people from time and time again, but I'll be like, I'll really go hard into this where I'll say, hey, go check out this channel. Let me show you what this channel does. So you get that. You'll also be able to be part of another swag bag, but this one is going to feature some more stuff that's not just like stickers and things like that, but I'll get you a t-shirt. I might even get you some apparel that, you know, it's a nice some nice personal apparel, like a baseball cap with maybe your name on it. That'd be really cool. Sean has already said yes to it, so I talked to Sean, and he's gonna be doing some graffiti hats for us. So if you're part of it, then I will be able to make sure that you get that. Then you'll also be part of the original high resolution image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post an image, and then I'll be able to provide you guys with an original image of it. Also, which is a lot of people will be excited about this one, is the second tier swag bag. Not swag bag. Excuse me, mystery box. Now the second tier mystery box, that's what you want. That's what you be clamoring for. So the second tier mystery box will have comic books in it. There'll be original art in it. And every so often, I might have something like a slab. I might have a Funko Pop. Something that I might have picked up at a convention. Right? Something that is definitely worth it. So for $4.99 a month, you will be part of that mystery box. And here's the great news, and this is why I ask you guys to share this. If we get more people to sign up for the mystery boxes, for these tiers, the prizes will get bigger. That means there might be a month where there'll be 2 slabs, or you'll get more original artwork. Maybe we'll get something that was an exclusive from a Comic-Con. Because, again, I go to a lot of shows here in New York, so I'll be able to provide you that stuff. So, but in order for me to do it, I need support. I can't just take it out of my paycheck, unfortunately. I spend the whole year doing that, guys. And it's very challenging, and financially is rough. All right, maybe by now. Yeah, absolutely. If Josh was here, he'll have it for you, Nate, right? But what I'm saying is, I want to give you stuff. But the only way I could do it is if I get support. So sign up, join the Izzyverse, and be part of it. Okay, guys. I'm gonna keep promoting the Izzyverse, guys, because it means a lot to me that you guys help support me. So, any questions from the chat before I either let you guys go or I just keep chatting along? Because what time we got? We got 9:40, so I still got a few minutes before the missus finally comes out. So, what questions do you have for me? You guys want to hear some more stuff? Eat the biscuit. The biscuit's right here, bro. Look at the biscuit. Look at it right there, the biscuit. It's getting hard though. All right, but Nate, you the man. You missed Josh, man. Bubble Boy Josh. Bubble Boy Josh, man. Don't forget hashtag Bubble Boy Josh. What else is out there? What other good stuff you guys want to talk about? I was there for a bit. Yeah, I'm in Manhattan. I'm actually not too far from where I work, so I'm near 4 World Trade Center. So that's, for those of you who don't know, that I work downtown Manhattan, and I work right by the World Trade Center. So Bubble Boy Josh, what, trekking now? Oh no, Bubble Boy Josh. Oh, now you added the King. Josh the King. That's a good one, Nate. All right. Where's Nate? Tell me. Okay, my favorite X-Force comic by Liefeld is X-Force 4. Why is that? Why is X-Force 4? What a random number to pick. Is there a reason why you like that book, Anthony? What's in that book? Let me know, Anthony. I know it might take a minute for you to write it down. I found an X-Force #1. I actually have all the books. I got all the X-Force #1s, all the cards. I got each one, including the Deadpool one. I'm not sure how many. I don't know if I have multiples, though. I know I have each one of the cards. What else do I have? We only scratched the surface on about 1/3 of the book, so there was still a lot of books that we went through. I'm trying to think of other books that I might have found. I know I posted in the previous video, I showed a few of those books that I was showing off in the books, and some of those books that came out. Yeah, oh yes, the horizontal third appearance of Deadpool featuring Spider-Man. Well, you got to look at the McFarlane one. The McFarlane one is pretty cool too. I think it's even better looking. they did a collaboration, so it was part of a two-part episode. But the McFarlane one is horizontal view. There's also a new X-Men book like that. Go check that one out. The new X-Men book is pretty cool. Uh, that I saw that as well with my stack. When I was going through my stack, there was a book like that. I did find a couple of duplicates. So anything that I have that's a duplicate, I will make sure it gets into a mystery box. So you're gonna have some Marvel keys in there sooner or later. You'll have some DC keys. You'll have some Image keys. The mystery box will be filled with keys. I guarantee you there'll be keys in that mystery box on both levels. So on level 1 and level 2. But I need you guys to sign in, man. If you don't sign in, I can't do it. I can't give them to you. I want to be able to give them to you. I want to be able to do it. So take that time to sign for them. It's not going to, I'll be honest, it's not going to cost that much. We could spend $1 a day. We could spend $2 a day, right? So, go do it. So what was the first comic book you ever worked on? So Nate, you're opening a can here, but I'll tell you, the first comic book I ever worked on was way back in 2006. I want to say 2006, 2005, around there. It was right after my firstborn was born. And for that time, I was really getting involved into drawing. And I wanted to be part of the comic book industry. Now, at this time, I was thinking about being the next Marvel guy or a DC guy or an Image guy or something like that, but I just really just wanted to get involved in comics. And I really wanted to be able to tell stories. So what I did was I joined Andy's Comic Experience. And the first time I joined the experience, it was about $550, I want to say it cost me. And $550 back then, we're talking about, that's a lot. But we met in Pearl Studios. In case you didn't know what Pearl Studios is, it's in Midtown Manhattan. And it was a artist class. And that first time I did it, Andy Smith was doing the class. And we got to talk to Klaus Janson. Chris Batista was there as well, I think. And it was a good experience. I did learn a lot. But it wasn't until the second time I took the course. The course was available again. And Michael Sieglin, who was an editor at DC, he was doing the course instead of Andy Smith. Andy Smith was actually moving away to be in another state, and Michael Sieglin, who Andy worked with, he got Michael Sieglin to be part of it. So Michael Sieglin was very different because he was more of an artist editor. There's two types of editors. There's usually like a writer editor, and there's an artist editor. The writer editor is very much into the storytelling of it all. Where the artist is the artist type editor, he's the one that really focuses on, does this scene work well with the panels? And it's you have to have an artist's mind for this kind of work, because when you look at multiple panels on a page, they have to work together. If they clash, it doesn't work. And we're not talking about how good of an artist you are. It's more on the lines of how good of a storyteller you are. It's how you could make a page move without moving, right? It's static images, but how can you make the page more dynamic? So I did the course with Michael Sieglin, and he was really good. He showed us a lot of good work. Some from Kelly Jones, some from Chris Batista. He showed us something from Wally-Wood. If you guys know what Wally-Wood is about, go look it up. And it started opening and expanding my mind. But at the same time, I started getting introduced to a lot of artists who, like me, wanted to break it in some way, because that was our goal, to break it in some way. And every one of us had a passion, but every one of us had a very different style. But what was great is that we were all kind of like in the same plane. And one of the guys that were in the team, he was actually a writer, but he accidentally made both. He did both because he wanted to be a writer artist. He's a better writer than artist, and that's Achilles. You might have known Achilles. And Achilles was talking to one of his writers from the writer's course, because it was an artist course and there was a writer's course. And he was talking to one of the writers, and the writer, Joey, If you're watching, Joey, it's good seeing you. Joey came up with the idea is like, why don't we just work with the artists? We're writers who are looking for artists. They're artists who's looking for work, right? So we met at Achilles' house. Out of all places, we met at Achilles' studio apartment in by Hell's Kitchen. There were about, I want to say 10, 11 of us. And we got together, we started talking about what we wanted to do. So we all agreed that it would probably make more sense to work in an anthology series, and we could start small with like 5 pages. So as we did it, we came up with ideas. We all talked to like different people. We pitched the writers pitched the stories to the artists, and the artists picked the writers that they liked. I ended up picking up Ray, writer. His name is Ray, and he's an actor now. But I ended up picking up one of his stories, which I really like. He had a character called Caduceus, and if you don't know what Caduceus means, it's that medical symbol. Have you ever seen that medical symbol that it has like the wings and two snakes around it? That's the Caduceus symbol. And he had this character that he's not he doesn't have a healing factor, but he could heal people. And it was just he just wrote a very simple story, and I said, you know what, let's do it. So we ended up doing that story, and then all the other guys ended up doing stories as well, and we were able to create our first anthology series called For a Price. Now what came up from it was the title Pronto Comics. And I'll let you know a little secret about Pronto Comics. Well, it's not much of a secret, but we the name Pronto Comics stems from the pizza place that we were all meeting at 43rd Street, 42nd, 41st Street, I think 41st Street in Midtown by Bryant Park. There was a pizza place called Pronto Pizza. That's it. So one day I just said, you know what? We meet every week in Pronto Pizza. Let's just call it Pronto Comics, and thus the name Pronto Comics was born. Um, Ken Fredericks came up with the logo, and I think that logo's still being used to this day. But that was our first book For a Price. We did a second book called Kicked, which was a story about different sidekicks who were really treated by a really douchey superhero called Captain Awesome. That was a fun book. We did another one, more of a cosmic story called yep, that's right. I haven't heard that pizza in over 20 years. It's still out there, Anthony. It's still out there. Um, we also did another book called Into the Voice, which was more of a cosmic level story, and there was some pretty fun stories there. I got to work a story with Janine Frederick, which was really cool. It was called Space Sickness. That was a fun story. Um, and we worked on some other things here and there, and then we all kind of like went our separate ways. Some continue in the industry, some left the industry in some way. And, I myself was not involved as much, but I always kept my ear open and I kept on watching it. Always collect Wizard. I have every Wizard book from when they started, and that's how I always knew what was going on in comics. And then, of course, when the Wizard crashed, then it became a little more challenging. But I got back into comics recently, about a little over a year, and I love it. I never stopped my passion for comics, and I love collecting comics. I love reading comics. I love drawing comics. It's a lot different now than it was then, but it was fun. Anyway, it's been about 30 minutes, and it's time for me to let you guys go. But please, guys, if you haven't had the chance to, please subscribe to the Izzyverse. Join the membership tiers, 99 cents, $1.99, and $4.99. And there's plenty of perks, I promise you. The more people subscribe, the better the perks are gonna get. I promise you that. And if you could, if you could buy a cup of coffee, you could help the Izzyverse once a month. Okay, guys? I appreciate it. I'm gonna see you guys soon. Maybe tomorrow I might have another one. I'm trying to promote this channel thing. But yes, Anthony, have a great time. Tell us you love us before you go, please. I love you, Nate. I love you guys. I'm not kidding, man. You're always in my thoughts, guys. I love you guys, and I'll see you at the next show. So, Excelsior, and don't forget to subscribe.